Okay, so I'm sitting here with Ruby, our amazing designer, who has been designing this Army Travel Handbook. And then on audio, we've got Tissa. So Tissa, why don't you say hi here?
Hi, everybody.
Awesome. Okay, so Tissa, you are the author that is putting this book together, and we just iterated on this, and I noticed that you tagged this as version 2, and so it's a pretty major upgrade from the past one. I'd love to just ask you some questions and have you tell us a bit about what's different about this one than the one that came before it. So where do you want to start?
Maybe you can kind of go through just the table of contents, the first section, and
Yeah.
I can tell you some of what we've added.
Okay, great. I've got it open here.
Okay, I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, no problem.
Just remind me.
Yeah, so I see why Armory Spinnaker. So I think that's new. We can actually go over to that one. And then Ruby, you were also saying.
Oh, I was saying the Y Army Spinnaker section did get a good upgrade.
Okay, great. And then what else in the table of contents is?
Yeah, so that whole section is new. So we really expanded on what Spinnaker is, how the whole community has grown, how so many more companies are using it, and the value of a community and a platform. And then really talked about what value Armory is bringing with managed services, a lot of proprietary features, the release of policy engine, and the roadmap, the strategic roadmap, and some of the things we're going to be rolling out in the next couple of quarters. So there's a lot more detail in there that has not been in there before.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Okay, this is great. And what was it about what you were hearing, Tissa, since we're all about, shipping fast and iterating. So what was it that you were hearing that caused you to think that we should add this into the handbook?
I think especially because we keep hearing from prospective tribals and people in the recruitment process, we want to make sure that if they're talking to their families and sharing this with their sort of extended tribe, they can help explain what is Spinnaker, what are they going to be working on, why does Armory have such a big potential to be a really huge company with a big exit, and really helping them understand that we're positioning the company, we're positioning ourselves in a huge market that's solving a really big need, and that not only is Armory part of this big open source community, but that the company itself is building value with its own proprietary features, and helping people understand that who maybe aren't super technical, and understanding what value we're bringing to innovation and getting it out to customers faster.
Cool,
So
okay.
We're answering that question for people.
That's fantastic. That's really great. I'm excited to see that in there because it helps tell that story about Spinnaker, the open source project, and then Armory, the way that we're extending that for the Global 2000. And then I see that there's a lot more in the culture section, including why we call Armory a tribe, and a lot more detail there, as well as more detail about the Armory company culture, the table about psychologically safe orgs, which is pretty new. Anything you want to say about all of that?
Yeah, that is probably the biggest part of what's big and meaty and new about this new version. So we added a really great excerpt from a Medium article about really where we got the inspiration to call ourselves a tribe, and then really giving people a deeper understanding of what's so special and different about the Armory culture. So we talk a lot about the roundabout culture. If people watch our videos, this really helps, I think, understand what do we mean, where did that come from, what are we comparing that to, and also giving people an understanding of what the culture means, not just in a vacuum, but how does that flow back out to the Spinnaker open source community, and what is it like to kind of create inevitability in what we call the flywheel? And Jordy, I know you've published some blogs and some videos about that. Isaac has done some keynotes at some really great conferences, kind of tying that all together so that people who read the handbook understand how we're positioning the Armory culture and why we're building a culture that's so intentional to build up the bigger community and contribute back to it. I think it'll all make sense when people read it, but it's not happening in a vacuum.
Yeah, I am so excited to get this out into the world and start to help others understand what feels like the secret that we have ourselves about the value of this flywheel, the power of the flywheel, how this is something that's larger than just Armory, but that as Armory, we're able to help make this spin faster by living these values ourselves and then bringing them into Global 2000 enterprises that want to innovate faster. So this looks just incredible, Tissa and Ruby. Thank you so much for helping explain this and put it together. And then also I see that, Tissa, you've also added a bit about reinventing organizations. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, this is just a sneak peek, because if we had waited until that was fully built out, we wouldn't really be following on our own principles of just get things out quickly. But it's really exciting. This is a book and a principle, a way of approaching organizational culture, reinventing organizations. And so this is just letting people know that there's a lot more content coming about this, about self-managed organizations and really bringing your whole self to work. And we're going to be, there's a lot more content coming about this. We just really wanted to encourage people to understand that this is a big inspiration for our culture. There'll be a lot more blogs and videos, but we did not want to miss the chance to put that in there. We also did not want to hold up the next version. We keep iterating.
I love it. It's so good. It's so consistent with the way that we're building products as well. And then lastly, we have this self-assessment quiz, which we've had in the past couple of versions, but I noticed that we've iterated on it. We've heard people that are actually taking this quiz and using it, which is amazing. Do you want to talk just a bit about how we've iterated on this quiz?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting, actually. So Isaac got some great feedback. We've published a blog recently, and that blog is actually going to be excerpted into the next version of the handbook. But it's really a deep dive about how Armory builds products. And we had feedback from, I believe it was a customer or an advisor, that talks about, we don't...
Sorry, Tissa, go ahead. Keep going, you're good.
Sorry, okay. Sorry, we don't just build products quickly that are not high quality, that we put products out and then we iterate on them, and we continue to make them good quality. And the feedback was one of the questions maybe didn't really explain that properly. So that feedback was really great, and we updated the question, and a lot of people have taken this quiz and sort of given us feedback that we needed to make a couple changes. So we've changed the scores, and I actually think Kate is looking at some of the questions as well.
Great.
So we definitely listen to what people say after they read it and take it. And this has, I think, the third version of the quiz.
Amazing, amazing. I am so excited to see this start to get used in the world, both for candidates being able to self-select in or out of our culture, helping others understand the culture that we're building at Armory, the way that we're bringing that into the Global 2000 so they can innovate faster, and some of the principles that are inspiring us. So I just wanted to say a huge thank you to both of you for the work that you're doing. And if you are curious about some of this, if you want to learn more, if you're possibly a candidate, we'd love to talk to you. Take the quiz, see what you think, see if you think it would be a good place for you. And if you have feedback, like Tissa said, we are listening. We really, really want to hear from you. And so you can find us on Twitter, you can find us on LinkedIn, or you can just shoot us an email, hello@armory.io. So thank you, Tissa, thank you, Ruby, for your incredible work to help tell the world about what we're doing.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks for jumping on the phone at the last second, Tissa.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.